Hello, my name is Polsheva Ina. I'm candidate economic science, associate professor of Chair Economy, South Kazakhstan. Today we will be considering new subject lecture. It is the legal forms, mediate commercial operations, is the commercial transaction. So, according to Article 147 of the Civil Code of the Republic of Kazakhstan, transactions, the actions of citizens and legal entities directed to establishment, change, or the termination of the civil rights and duties admit, and according to Article 148 of the transaction can be unilateral, true, or multilateral. And what is definition commercial transaction? It is the contract of the agreement between two or more to the parties on delivery of a assigned amount of goods, services, results of intellectual activity according to the conditions coordinated by the parties.
The most widespread way of registration of a commercial transaction is the contract or the contract concluded in the form of the uniform document which is signed by parties concerned of the transaction. Commission of any commercial transaction consists of the following main stages. The first, preparation for the conclusion of the contract. The second, conclusion of the contract under certain conditions. The third, performance of the contract. The most important part of holding a commercial transaction is the stage of preparation for the conclusion for the contract. This stage includes search and the choice of the suitable partner contractor, establishment of contacts with potential sellers or buyers. In the international commercial practice, distinguish two types of offers. The first one, the firm offer, and the second one, the free offer. The firm offer is an offer of the seller for sale of a certain consignment of goods only to one possible buyer, with the indication of term during which the seller is the connected offer and cannot make the similar proposal to other buyer. The free offer usually becomes at the same time on the same party to several possible buyers, without term to the answer. If the initiative of the conclusion of the transaction proceeds from the buyer, then his address to the seller with the request to send the offer is called inquiry.
The contract is the leading form of law enforcement of implementation of transactions. The essence of contract and order of their conclusion and execution are regulated by provisions of the Civil Code of Republic Kazakhstan, the Arbitration Procedural Code of Republic Kazakhstan, and other legal acts. The contract is an agreement of two or several persons on establishment, change, or the termination of the civil rights and the duties. The civil legislation established by the following types of contracts. Firstly, the public contract, the contract signed by the commercial organization and establishing obligations for sale of goods, to performance of work and the rendering services which such organization for the nature of the activity has to carry out concerning everyone who will address it. Second, the preliminary contract, the contract according to which the parties undertake to sign in the future the contract on cessions of property, performance of work, or rendering services, that is, sign the main contract on the conditions provided by the preliminary contract.
The contract of accession, the contract which conditions are determined by one of the parties in forms or other standard forms can be adopted by other party precisely by accession to the offered contract in general. The contract in favor of the third party, the contract in which the parties established that the debtor is obliged to make execution not to the creditor and specified, or the third party having the right to demand from the debtor of execution of the obligation in our favor which isn't specified in the contract. Briefly, we will consider some types of contract in the subject of the agreement of the parties. The contract of purchase and sale, the agreement between the parties according to which the party undertakes to transfer a thing to the possession to other party, and the buyer undertakes to accept these goods and to pay for it a certain sum of money.
The contract of delivery, the contract according to which the supplier sellers who is carrying out an entrepreneurial activity undertakes to report to the call the time or terms the goods made or purchased by it to the buyer for the use in entrepreneurial activity or in the purposes which are not connected with personal, family, house, and other similar use. The hiring work contract, the agreement between the parties under which one party undertakes to execute a certain work on the instruction of other party and to hand over its result to the customer, and the customer undertakes to accept results of work and to pay it. The contract of insurance, the agreement between the insurer and the insurer owing, to whom the insurer undertakes to make insurance payment to the insurer or the other person in favor of whom the contract of insurance is signed at an insured event, and the insurer undertakes to pay insurance premiums at the scheduled time. The credit agreement, the agreement under which the bank or other credit institution undertakes to provide money, credit, to the borrower in size and to the condition provided by the contract, and the borrower undertakes to return the reserved sum and to pay percent on it.
Approximate structure of the contract of purchase and sale and constituents of the following article section condition. Summary of commercial article of the contract. Prologue, subject of the contract, quantity, quality, terms and the delivery date, basic terms of delivery, price and total amount of the contract, terms of payment, packing and marking.